It was a cold October morning when my family just moved into the neighborhood. We finished unpacking the boxes and just wanted to relax and watch some television. Although, since we moved into a new neighborhood, my mom told me I had to go out and meet our neighbors and make new friends. I denied, but she threatened to ground me for the weekend if I didn't do as she said. I know, great parenting. So, after walking about 3 blocks, I see someone around my age playing outside on his bike, outside of what I'm guessing is his house. I decided to go up and introduce myself to him. "Hey, I'm David. I'm new to the neighborhood." "Nice to meet you," said the kid with a pleasant tone. "Name's Jackson. Where'd you move at?" Just a couple blocks down the street." That's a creepy-ass part of the neighborhood. Too much forest. Makes it seem like someone could come out of nowhere and scare the living piss out of you. Anyways, grab a bike and we can go downtown and grab a bite to eat. Jackson was sure as hell right about it being creepy. When I walked down that part of the neighborhood, it felt as if I was being watched by something. But I immediately brushed that off and grabbed one of Jackson's bikes, and we biked downtown to the nearest fast food restaurant. Then we biked back to his house and played video games until it was 10 o'clock at night. My mom called, telling me to get home ASAP. We said our goodbyes and I walked home alone. Those 3 blocks felt like 3 miles. The foliage made it so the road ahead of me was pitch black, making the environment around me feel pretty eerie. After walking about a whole block, I noticed something odd in the foliage. I swear to God I saw a pair of eyes looking straight at me in the distance. I closed my eyes and rubbed them with my hands to check that I wasn't seeing things. Right as I opened my eyes, they were gone. The next morning was when I had to start school. I did the usual things you do in the morning before school. Get ready, eat breakfast, and pack my backpack. When I went outside, it was still very dark out with that eerie environment just like last night. Made sense though, since I had to get to my bus stop at 6:30. Seemed a bit early, but I didn't really mind. As I was walking down the dark road, I saw a tall figure, at least 7 feet tall and walking oddly across the road, with its head slanted downward and what it looked like curved horns protruding from its forehead. I was frozen in fear of what the hell it could be. After about a couple seconds of it slowly walking, it stopped and raised its head and turned towards me. It was standing a good 50 yards from me, and all I could see was its eyes, white as snow. I immediately faced the other way and ran faster than I had ever ran before. I ran on a different and much longer route to my bus stop. I checked my watch and I was 5 minutes late to my bus stop. By the time I got there, the bus was just about to take off. Thankfully, the bus driver was kind enough to stop the bus so I could get on. During the whole day at school, I could not stop thinking about whatever that was on the road by my house. I couldn't even start a conversation without wandering off and thinking about it. But besides that, nothing too unusual happened at school, or when school ended, or when I hung out with Jackson's house the following day. But the worst was when I had to walk home from his house. It was about 8 o'clock and as dark as last night, except that the whole way home, I didn't see anything too strange besides the eeriness of the woods blanketing over the neighborhood. As I got home, I immediately got to bed so I didn't feel so tired tomorrow. But around 3 o'clock, I was awakened by a creaking sound in my room. As I got up, I noticed a tall figure at the end of my bed. This time I could see his features. It was wearing a black, ripped-up trench coat with tattered pants and shirt, also black. Its face was black and leathery, with horns that could relate to the horns of a goat. Its eyes were terrifying. They were pale white with no pigmentation, and not even a pupil in sight. Its mouth was big, with large and sharp carnivorous teeth. It had a massive tongue that would lick its upper teeth, as if it had just a lust for something. I was in immediate shock and shuddered, but I asked it, Who are you?" It gave me a devilish smile and spoke to me in a demonic tone.
"Hush, child. No need to be scared. There is no need to fear the Reaper. I am merely just stopping by to warn you that you should never travel the roads alone at night, or you might not live to see the sunlight again. Not if I can sense fear inside you.
It walked closer to me as I crawled into the corner, frightened. He then stopped about a foot in front of me and rested his hand on my forehead. I blanked out afterwards. All I remember is that I woke up in my bed with blood on my hands and a red handprint on my forehead, nearly bleeding with a bloody nose also. After about a week, I couldn't even think straight. I avoided walking in the dark up until I hung out at Jackson's during the weekend. As we were messing around and playing video games, the power in the whole neighborhood went out in a matter of a second. We were confused on why the power went out. Not a single transformer blew up, nor was there a storm nearby. The only thing that really concerned me was that we were in the dark. "Oh God, this is bad," I said in fear. "This is really bad." Jackson sighed and told me, "Don't worry, it's not the end of the world." "Well, do you have something like a flashlight that could light up the room?" Yeah, let me just look for one." We eventually found a flashlight, but with the luck we had, the battery was dead. Thankfully, Jackson had a batch of brand new batteries he brought from the store a couple days ago. We put the batteries in, but the flashlight still didn't work. "Damn piece of shit," Jackson said in frustration. "This thing was always a piece of trash." I offered to use things like candles, and we tried to use them, but all the lighters in his house wouldn't work. We even checked, and they all had fuel in them. We also tried the lights on our phones, but they were both dead, even though right before the power gave out, our phones both had full battery. Then, out of nowhere, the flashlight turns on, even though the switch was off. My heart sank when I saw what the flashlight was pointing to. From across the room was that demon that visited me in the night. He opened his mouth and out came a deafening screech, and he charged at us. I hit a wall so hard that my vision started to blur, and I started to black out. When I woke, all I saw was the carcass of Jackson, with his eyes and limbs missing. I started to vomit everywhere and tried to make myself get out of the house. When I walked downstairs, I saw his parents dead, with their eyes and limbs missing. I looked closely, and what I saw was life scarring. When I took a closer look at his mom, I could still hear her breathing. I inched my way outside and headed home with my skin paler than a ghost. I don't know why it didn't kill me, but all I know is never go outside in the dark. Always keep a light source on you, and always be prepared if there's a power outage in your neighborhood. Be prepared. And lastly, never show fear. Never fear the Reaper.